Hi, everyone. Good afternoon from Vienna. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Making It in Austria. I'm your host, Adela Mejijanic, and today I have a very special guest, Antonio Marques. Antonio, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Antonio, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, who is Antonio?
Mhm.
So, what our viewers should know about you? I saw your biography. It's a long, so you've done so much in your life. So, where do we start from?
Yeah, it's a good question. So thank you for the invitation. Yeah, so I'm currently living in Vienna, in Austria. Um, I don't like to define myself. So sometimes people like to define themselves depending on the job or hobbies. So I don't like that. Mm, I moved here to Austria 13 years ago. I'm a very curious person. So I
Mhm.
define myself as a curious person. So I like to have new experiences.
Mm.
I try to always to do new courses. I love traveling. So I'm a I love to travel. um, I talk to people as well a lot. So I'm a very sociable person, and yeah. So I don't define myself as a one thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I spend also the time in the last 12 months doing a lot of personal growth courses. So
Mhm.
I invest a lot of time to growth more in the personal aspect. And I'm originally from Spain.
Mhm.
So I have a long story. So I grew up in Venezuela in South America. My parents, they met there
Mhm.
when they were young, and my father and my mom, they are from Spain both, and I grew up in Venezuela. I spent my childhood there, and when I was 13 years old, we went to Spain back. So my whole family, they went back to
Mhm.
Spain, and I spent 7 years in Spain, and then I decided to move. So I decided to start a new journey in my life, and yeah, and now I'm here in Austria.
Where exactly
um,
from Spain, Antonio?
Asturias.
Okay.
Asturias is in the north. Asturias is the region, and
Mhm.
I have still two brothers living there. So we are three brothers. They are still living there. It's in the north part, in the
Mhm.
Atlantic part.
Mm. So, how does a person coming from Spain feel living in Austria? What is the same, different?
Yeah, what is a huge? It's really a big difference. So we
Mhm.
are in Europe, but we I mean, now I have 13 years here, so I already,
Yeah.
I feel half Austria, half Austrian, half Spanish,
Mhm.
and I think what I see a big difference is the relationship, the social relationship with groups. So I was used to meet a lot of friends, family, people when I was living in Spain. This is part of the culture. When we do something, we do it together in a group.
Yeah.
And in Austria, it's a little bit different. No? You need to plan more. People are used to plan the appointments, and so that was difficult at the beginning for me, no? To adapt my schedule and my mindset to the way how people used to meet in Austria. No?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I feel good. So I like living here in Vienna. I'm a big fan of Austria and also of the culture. And I really try my best to show the people how um, we do different things in Spain, no? How we are in Spain,
Mhm.
no? The
Mm.
positive part, because sometimes when you read the news, you meet people, some people tend to stereotype
Yes.
the cultures, and really I think we all, me at least, I feel the responsibility to really show the people that how we are, no? The other aspects of the Spanish culture, for example, no?
Exactly. Being the
And
ambassadors of
ambassador,
exactly, like for
exactly.
everyone. For me coming from Bosnia, it's also, trying to portray the best. Yeah, to bring the best
Yeah,
out of our
yeah,
culture. and not,
Yeah.
the stereotypes, as you said, in the boxes, how was in 60s
Yeah.
or 70s when people were moving from maybe Balkan or ex-Yugoslavia to Austria. It's a different world now.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a big responsibility, because if you are from Austria and you are living here, you don't have this pressure, you are just as you are. And but when you are, at least in my case, I really always think, Antonio, don't forget, you are giving them, you are Spanish, and be careful how you communicate things, because people might think that everyone in Spain is like that, and this is something that I need to be careful when I talk, and how I relate to people, that they don't have the feeling everyone in Spain is like that, and yeah.
You're doing that very well, Antonio. So great ambassador from your country. Tell us little bit about your work. So what is that you do nowadays, or what you've been doing in your career, for our viewers to, if they want to connect with you?
Yeah. So I am I'm working now in the IoT, machine learning, digitalization world. So I spent many years working at Samsung Electronics. And before that, I was working as a marketing consultant in B2B business for a consultancy company. And now I'm working for a telecommunications company, for A1 Digital. I am in charge of the marketing activities with a big focus in Germany. So it's the DACH region, okay, but the main focus is Germany, okay. And I am an expert, let's say, joining dots. So this is one of my strengths in this environment, is to connect things, not only from the technological point of view, but also from the business aspect and the marketing aspect. So how can we make nice stories? How can we build a story around some products or some services? And this is something that I really enjoy a lot. And this is what I'm doing now. So I'm currently working as a marketing manager for Internet of Things at A1 Digital.
Antonio, maybe just a short follow-up question. So how do you see marketing, your branch, so marketing industry, changing? So do you see some big trends, like everything going digital, or how people are consuming your content? That's quite interesting, I think.
Yeah, so this is I think in general, what I am seeing now is that we are consuming a lot of information, not very detailed, but a lot, like the content is now the king or the queen, let's say. No, so in B2B, I'm talking now about B2B marketing. Content is everything. No, so when you have a service or a product that is not maybe so easy to explain, like consultancy services, you need to stories. You need to tell stories, and you communicate these stories with content. It could be papers, could be videos. So I see a lot of videos now, and so it's a big topic now. We are increasing now the video demand, the video production. So more companies are using the videos and animations. This is something that you need to do it. In marketing now, it's not enough to have a document or a paper, because people don't have so much time to read. Okay, people want to read quick in 1 minute, and they get informed about stuff, and that is why having a videos is easier for the people. No? And so this is one aspect, and other is interaction and communication with customers. So the way how we are now communicating with them is completely different than last year, for example. Okay, we are not meeting now people. Okay, that means it's a big challenge how we interact with customers. So how no, and also not only with the customers, but also with potential customers. No, with visitors. If we have a website, if we have the social media. So this is really a challenge, because somebody has to be there. Somebody has to be behind the social media channel and answer the questions and so this is a trend is happening now. And also happening now is people are expecting not only to offer good services or good products, but also being a good employer, being environmental friendly. So CRM, the whole sustainability activities that we can offer. So people are asking, so what are you doing, to protect the environment or to help the world to become better, to get better? This is now also part of the speech and part also of the priorities, at least in marketing. How can we communicate and how can we change internal and be more environmental friendly and sustainable?
Good stuff. You said you need to communicate a story to grab people's attention, because it's so low and we have so much content nowadays.
Yeah, and everyone wants to. Now talking about consumer electronics or telecommunications, you have a lot of providers. You have a lot of companies offering sometimes the same. So how do you distinguish yourself as a company from the rest? And this is a challenge. So I joined now the company, and it's really challenging. Okay, what makes us special? So why are we special? Why are we better than others? Okay, you don't need to be better, but why are you different? And so it's very complex. But this is also the nice thing. It makes you think. It makes you to get out of your comfort zone. And that is why also I decided to move from my previous company to the new one, because I really wanted to experience more this new challenge of B2B marketing communications.
Thank you, Antonio, for sharing. I see that you enjoy it. So you were in the flow while you were explaining it.
Yes. Normally I enjoy things that I'm doing. So yes.
That's a really good stuff.
Yeah.
Antonio, because this is a channel for people who are, considering to move to Austria.
Yeah.
You said you moved here 13 years ago, and can you remember some of the challenges that you have faced back then that you could share with our audience?
Yeah. So I think the challenges are applicable nowadays. So one of the challenges, of course, is the language. So this is something that I really keep repeating to my friends who are deciding to move to a new country. You really need to learn the language. Okay, so this is something that if you want to succeed in the country, if you really want to expand your network, if you want to not only find a job, because you can have a job, but if you really want to understand the dynamics within Austria, you need to learn the language. And this is that was one of the priorities I had when I moved here, was not finding a job. It was not finding the study, okay, at the university. For me, the focus was language. German academies, learn the language. And this is basic, This is for me, the step number one. It was a challenge, and German is not an easy language, but you need to always learn. So I always recommend, and it helped me a lot. Every 2 years, I was doing a new course. So I did one course for 3 months, then I did a break, and then after 6 months, again another course. So I was doing breaks between the courses to absorb and to put in practice. But I even last year, 2 years ago, I did the C1, 2. It was last year, after 12 years, and I decided let's do the C1-2 course, because you can always improve. So this is one of the challenges that you have, and I think everyone, when you move to a new country, with a different language. And I think the second was to meet people. You are new in a city, you want to meet people. I think it also depends on the age. In which age you move to the country, because I think the younger you move, maybe the more open you are to go out and make parties. So I was 21 years old when I moved to Austria, so I was young, so I wanted to go out, meet people, and experience the city. And in that time, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have smartphones when I moved here, but that is a challenge, because you cannot just go to a bar and just start talking to people. They will think you are crazy. So they are scared, but you have a lot of community. You have Facebook groups, and you have a lot of internet communities that you can join and you can ask. People are open. So this is also helping. When it helped me a lot when I moved here, I joined some groups in the internet to meet people, and it worked a lot. It worked really good. And and I think also what is difficult, is these stereotypes. When you meet people and they have this stereotype, oh, okay, you are from Spain, on, I don't know, maybe they think we are not punctual. We are not punctual people. We are always late. I am never late, but they think people are in Spain late. Or you have the siesta, after lunch. I don't know any Spanish who are taking the siesta, but many people think everyone is taking the siesta. And I'm not taking la siesta. I'm not sleeping after lunch, afternoon. And so you need to explain things. And this is difficult. You need to explain, no, I'm not like that.
So no siesta. So that is just
No
in the
siesta,
movie.
no, no siesta, no. Yeah, and I think, of course, and then when you're looking for a job, I think it depends on your situation, your education level, your background, your network. Of course, it might be easier or not to find a job. But you have more pressure because you need to show, okay, you are not only able to do the job, but you also need to explain why you as a non-Austrian are the right person. No? And sometimes it's something good because you can play with some things, that it could be good for the company, it could be good for the position if you have an international background. But sometimes it's not what they are looking. No, maybe they are looking an Austrian person, a deep Austrian person who knows really good the culture, because they need this kind of skills, like communication, the language. And this is difficult because you don't know at the beginning, do I have the profile for this kind of jobs? And that cost me a lot of time. Actually, it cost me a lot of time at the beginning to figure out what are the roles that I fit good in Austria. If I remember I applied once for a company, they were looking for a sales rep in Vorarlberg, and I didn't think about it. I just applied for the job. And I went to the interview and they asked me if I can speak the dialect in Vorarlberg, and I said no. Why should I know the dialect in Vorarlberg? No, because you have customers in Vorarlberg, and then if they speak in dialect, you need to be able to understand them. And I didn't think about it. I applied for the job, I had the interview, but I didn't think about it. And this kind of thing you learn with the time. Okay? And now I know where to move, but at the beginning you have no idea. So the things that we need to be aware of that, when we start looking maybe for a job or.
I think it happened to all of us who. It happened to me as well. When we came here, we learned German. So I went to the Deutsche Akademie and then I learned German. And then when I came to the office, no one is speaking German. Everybody is speaking in their own dialects. And that is like, ooh, what is this all about? And wherever you move, if you go to Steiermark, they have their own dialect. If you mentioned Vorarlberg, that's completely different. So when they talk to one another, I cannot follow. You just go out and you can just imagine what they're talking about.
And I don't really want to learn. Like, I'm really very close in that aspect. I don't want to learn dialect. For me, this is one of my red lines. I always say it in the interviews. When I had an interview and they asked me, are you going to be able to learn, I don't know, that? And I said, no. I mean, it's okay for me to improve my German. It's okay. I can use my German. I am able to invest time and more money to learn German, but I don't want to really learn a dialect because for me, it's not worthly. In my case, so I learned after the years to position myself, in Austria, and it takes time. It takes some time.
Absolutely. So you're a perfect case of lifelong learner. So the way that you explained and the classes that you take, and I saw as well in your CV that you're really every year stepping up and investing in yourself. So that's a really good role model for our viewers.
This is an advice also. I always give that advice, and I wrote you I told you, if you are not growing, you are dying. This is for me. If you don't grow, if you don't learn, you die. And this is my philosophy in life. And when you move to Austria and you start confronting some challenging challenges or some challenges, the only way to succeed is if you are open to learn.
Mm.
Okay, so if you are not, this is my opinion, if you are not open to learn, stay at home. I mean, really, it's like that. And it's not people. I know I met people when I came here. I met people, they were not able to learn. They say, no, I'm okay as I am. But in the society nowadays, and I think in every country, who the people who are not able and open to learn, to improve, and to do things, it doesn't have to be business related. It could be hobbies, courses. They are the one who are at the end more happy, and who normally they succeed in their jobs.
Yes, definitely.
This is a recommendation to
everyone. Note to ourselves,
to everyone, to
Yes.
everyone, and it's also good because when you move here, and this is one way, what I mentioned before, this is also a good way to meet people when you are here in Austria, when you are thinking to move here and you don't know how to meet people. Okay, where should I meet people? They are not so they are not like Italians or Spanish. You can go in the street and ask somebody and then you make friends. So one good way is to do courses. You apply for the German course or I don't know, nutrition course or painting or whatever you want to do. You meet people.
Yes.
You build connections and then you meet other people. So it's a good way for networking. To do courses now with digital, it's maybe a little bit difficult, but it's helpful.
Still possible. I remember one of my friends, Michael, he's an Austrian, and during his career, he was once in Germany, so completely new in the city. So one of the tips he said, how he grew his network was he likes to smoke a pipe. That's kind of his hobby. So he just looked in that city if there are like some clubs like that. So he went there, met people, then, they explained him much more. So they shared the knowledge with him. And then that's how he met, different people and expanded his network. And he was completely new in the town. So yes, he could speak the language, but no contacts and no network. Just like you were saying, if painting is your thing, or, you like sports and all these activities, just look for nearest place to join.
And I also want to add something. People thinking to start from zero, from scratch. It's really super important to have a humble mindset, to really not being positive and also able to help other people that are not maybe in the same situation like you. Because I think some people forget, they think, okay, I'm moving to Austria, to a new country, it's all about me. It's me. I need help. I need support. I have to fight. But you can always help other people, and you can guide them. And they are maybe in the same situation. And it also helped me a lot to make it in Austria when I met people like me and we help each other. And honestly, I remember 13 years ago, we didn't have so many people here from Spain, but we were thinking to make like an NGO or something like that, a community to help people coming here because they didn't know where to apply for the papers or for the documents, and we helped them. And I was in the same situation actually. And I think when you are open and you are positive and able to help other people, you also receive back what you give. If you give bad energy, you also receive bad energy. But if you give good energy, you also receive good energy. And this is something I can also recommend. When you do something, do it with a mindfulness.
With a good heart. Actually, so I did an interview, Antonio, with Miglena Hofer, and she has her NGO called Austria for Beginners.
Okay.
So she offers free legal services. So she started this NGO with her partner, also legal, and they offer services in English, German, and Bulgarian. That they are both of them are from Bulgaria, I think.
Okay, I need to talk to her.
Definitely.
It's
so
a good,
you can recommend it to. I'm recommending it to all people who are asking me, like, okay, how about if I get a CV, I get a job offer, so and it's in German. I don't speak German, so what does it mean? Or, if I want to move in Austria and I'm a lawyer, so is that possible? Is my diploma recognized here, or what do I need to do? So I'm now now I met her, so I'm just sending them all to to her website, and they're doing some really cool.
Okay. Oh, that is nice. This is really nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's another way to meet people and to and you connect people. You know, you start
exactly.
building your network, and also having a plan. Having a
Yes.
plan is always important. Even having no a plan is a plan. You know, but if you know, okay, I don't have a plan for the next 3 months, but I know after 3 months I have this plan, it's also
Yeah.
good. So I also recommend, and it was difficult for me at the beginning to understand how important it is to have a goal, you know, to visualize also things. Another is to visualize what you want, no? Because if you move here and you want to succeed, whatever successful means for you,
Yeah.
visualize, you know. So do you want to have your own business, do you want to have your own company, or do you want to work for company X? So how, imagine that you are already there, you know? Imagine you have a job, you know? And really that helped me a lot. So you cannot, probably you know that, I don't know, but it really helps when you, so okay, I want to be in 2 years to be here. And then everything you connect things, and everything what you do during the next 2 or 3 years is aligned to help you to reach that goal. And this is something that I did when I was here. When I moved here, I started thinking, Antonio, okay, where do you want to be in 3 years? And after 3 years, where do you want to be there? And then you have a path, you have a roadmap to follow. It's a good advice I can give.
Similar to what they say, you know, dress up for the job you want to have and not the job that you have at the moment. Yeah. So like,
exactly.
think a little bit ahead, or the law of attraction, or, you know, putting really all of your resources into, you know, into future self. Antonio, coming to the topic of networking that we already have mentioned. So you and I did our MBA at the Very Executive Academy. So we are both alumni. So I can say that I have a big network over there, and people that I met there. So they opened many doors for me as well, especially here in the DACH region, because, you know, it's a strong network from the DACH region. How about you? So how did you build up your network? Do you have any tips and tricks to share with our viewers who are just starting on that topic?
Well, you are talking about the professional network,
Yes,
right? Like
yes,
business, from the business point of
yes,
view. Yeah.
yes.
So I related to the first topic, this curiosity mindset, this openness to learn and to do courses, for example, or it doesn't have to be an MBA. So I did also the MBA, and it helped me a lot. Not everybody can be able to pay for an MBA, okay? But you can always do a business course, okay? It could be about leadership, about communication, project management, for example. I did a couple of courses, okay? Before I did the MBA, I also did the master, but that helped me a lot to build my business, my professional network, okay? To be in these places, doing the courses that they are also doing. Okay? If you want to get into that world, you need to learn where the people learn, and where people relate themselves, and where they used to move. So I said, okay, let's do a project management course, communications course, and master. So, and I start building the network. A network is not only an exchange of telephones, a network is also meeting them. We create WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups. I always say yes when we had the opportunity to meet for a dinner or after work training. I always say yes, I will join you, you know, even without knowing people, maybe one person or two person. I remember also there wasn't that time a website. It was called, I think, Internations. There was a website for expats. I joined. I think there was Internations was the name, and there was a community that it still exists, right? So I joined that community. So I signed. I also pay the membership, because you can pay on a membership if you want. And they organize once per month, like meetings, you know, like events. So they organize once per month an event. I attend events. I met people. I was there. You know, everyone is alone there. you start talking to people, you have the visit card, you explain, you tell your story. That helped me a lot. And then at the end, Vienna is not so big. Austria is not so big. So at the end, people know each other somehow. You start talking to people, and people know each other somehow. So events, and the internet, online events, social events that they organize help me a lot. Doing the courses. Also, I always say to people, hey, if you heard about a party or if you heard about a meeting, let me know. So I always told the people, hey, please let me know. Call me or write me. Yeah. People knew I was always open to attend something, and so one event or a community. So I built my network in Austria, and of course, when you change the job, I mean, if you are working in one company, you have your colleagues, you have their friends, their colleagues, and then you change to the next job, you are still having your old network from your company there, and then you have the new one. And network, you need to be careful. You need to care about them. You need to. It's like friendship. You cannot just meet somebody and then forget it. And you need to. It's like a relationship, a friendship relationship. And you need to invest the time. People. I also saw a mistake of many people. They want to build the network when they move to Austria, and automatically these people are not really interested in you. They just want, I don't know, like look for a job. Yeah. Or, you see people who are very focused looking for something, but they are not interested in the person. And this is a big mistake. And this is what I say. When you build your network, and what I did was being interested in the person, not in their jobs, not on their salaries or the positions that they had. I'm interested to meet the people, the person. Who are you as a person? Some people, and this is not what I don't recommend it to do this, because at least I see this coming. They are only interested to you talking to you if you are in their target group, of people. and it's not nice, because maybe that person is nice and you can have a nice conversation, and have a nice time talking about something. But then when you realize, okay, that person is not interested in you because you are not in the finance, you are in the marketing, or you are not in the banking, but you are in the construction sector, and then they stop talking to you. Yeah. And it's like, okay. So it's a very,
what you're saying is good described in this book from Adam Grant, Givers and Takers. Yeah, I recently came across that book, and then he definitely tells about, you have the givers who are ready to to give and serve the community and share, and you have the takers who are there just because they are taking they need something, they take it, and they're gone. Yeah. So it's super important to, as you said yourself, to have this feeling to recognize, people, who are there really for a long term, and they are there for to build the relationship, and the others who are just to kind of take what they need at the moment, and they are gone. So it's good to keep up with the givers with givers, and so you feel better because you feel that you're serving the community.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you, Antonio, for sharing your insights. Before we wrap up, I see you have prepared the books that you would like to recommend to our viewers. So tell us about your favorites.
Yeah, so I'm really very proud of reading these two books. So one, you asked me like, okay, what kind of? I'm reading two books now. Depending on my mood, I read one or another one. There is one book that I can really recommend to everybody. It's called Why We Sleep. Why We Sleep is from Matthew Walker. I'm reading it in English, and it's about how important it is to have a good sleep. So how important is the sleep? And it's super, super good. So it's really, you learn about the biology, the biological part, the physical aspect of sleeping, the influence in your brain. Also, related to your productivity, how efficient you are at the work, you know, the mood. It's amazing. It's really a book that I can really recommend. Why We Sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. And another one is a classic. I think it's not so original, but I started 2 weeks ago reading about Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very I'm a fan of Steve Jobs, or a fan of this kind of people, you know, pushing themselves and getting out of their comfort zone, and always bringing new ideas and swimming in another direction to innovate and to bring new solutions. And he's really, the book is good. So I just started 2 weeks ago, and so I'm just starting, but it's really good. It's a good book. Yeah.
Thank you. So I will definitely link it in our description of this video, so for our viewers to check it out. To tell you, these two books didn't come up in the last 25 plus interviews, so
Okay.
we are good to go.
Okay.
Thank you, Antonio. Thank you so much for being our guest today and sharing your story and giving so much of insights of starting in Austria. I will as well link your contact details, so for people, if they want to connect with you over LinkedIn, or maybe they have more to ask you about different things, so I will be happy to share with the viewers.
Right. Also, thank you so much for your time and for your initiative. I really appreciate having people like you here who are able to give us a voice to help others, and to be in contact with people who might need some advices, or just to be in contact or to build their network.
Yes.
So it's a very good initiative. So again, congratulations for that.
Thank you, Antonio, and thank you all for watching this. So please like, subscribe, share with your community. And if you have someone that you would like to see on this channel, so some of your friends or colleagues, please drop a message or drop a comment or drop me a LinkedIn message. I'm really looking forward to interview as new guests and to hear as much stories as possible, because story connect us, and it's always inspiring to meet people like Antonio and all other guests that we had. So thank you all. Greetings from Vienna, and enjoy your afternoon. We talk soon. Bye.